Last time, we began a scenario where Goku became Guardian of Earth, or at least started the process of becoming Guardian. He met some new people from this, and even better, he got some new training out of this too. But with all that's changed so far, what's going to happen here on out? We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 2 of What If Goku Became Kami. Immediately following the battle with Raditz, everyone begins training on the lookout for the Saiyans. Now Goku alone might be enough to defeat them, but they don't know for sure. They could only be marginally stronger than Raditz. They could be multiple times stronger than him. And either way, it is better for his friends to grow stronger too. Plus, he wants to share the knowledge and training around with them. What's the fun in being so strong if his friends can't even keep up? Although they mostly train with King Kai on the lookout, and meanwhile Goku runs back off to King Kai's planet. Which means he's actually leaving Piccolo on the lookout alone with everyone else, which actually isn't that big of an issue because he's outmatched here by everyone that's helping. There's all the usual people there, plus Gohan and Chi-Chi actually training, with Chi-Chi actually being above where Piccolo is, so if he causes any issues, he won't be hard to stop. Besides, as Earth's goddess now, she thinks it's worthwhile to keep up with the others, especially since Goku's not going to be responsible and be around here that much. She's at least happy he has a job, but he isn't actually doing the job now. Plus, again, the job doesn't really pay too well. But Kami assures her this is all part of what he needs to do. It wasn't what he needed to do to become Guardian, but it probably is better if Goku does all of this. After the year of training, we definitely have some changes here. Let's discuss everybody's powers. Goku comes back with a huge power increase. He's at 50,000 now in base. Chi-Chi's at 5,000, with Piccolo also at 5,000. Gohan is surprisingly at 3,000, because his training goes better here. He has Kami to help him out, as well as Popo and all the humans, especially Chi-Chi. Him having such good tutors here from an educational standpoint is a good thing because it leaves more time for training, and it's something that Kami pushes for. Next is Krillin and Shinhan, both at 2,500 for their power level, and not too far behind that is Yamcha at 2,000. We'll say Chaozu's also marginally stronger at 1,000, and Yajirobe would probably be around the same level. He wouldn't grow as much as everyone else. You'll get your what if one day, Yajirobe. But they feel like they're more than ready for the Saiyans, although they could already tell this is mostly going to be Goku doing his thing. When the Saiyans arrive, they see two of them, Vegeta and Nappa. Goku would like to face them alone as a good test, but some of the others step up wanting to fight. Which is perfect because Nappa starts out by planting some Cybermen, and they're defeated really easily without Goku's involvement at all. But Goku does want to face the Saiyans, partially because it's a good test for his power, but also, it is his quarrel and he doesn't want them to get hurt from it. Clearly these guys are stronger than they expected. He'll have to have some of his friends come to King Kai's planet next time. They couldn't just jump right to that planet though because they need to ease themselves into it with Kami's training, and now that they have that it's good. But still, it might not be enough for these guys. But the Cybermen can't be the extent of their strength. He tells them not to mess around. They're some sort of planet invaders, aren't they? He expected a good fight and not them to just plant some henchmen. Nappa says he's fine with that, and steps up to fight Goku next. Giving some threats to Goku too. He'll be gracious enough to ask Goku one time, come along with them. And this planet will be left alone. Otherwise they're going to have to be a bit more persuasive. You know, killing everyone here, and laying waste to the planet. Goku's not going to take that threat lightly, especially as Guardian now. It's his duty to protect Earth. Although getting a read on this guy, he could tell his power's not that great. Nappa pulls out a scouter just to taunt Goku. But he looks horrified when the scouter gives him a reading. 20,000? That can't be right. And Goku says that thing isn't right. Raditz said the same thing too, and he says those scouters can't read their full power while it's locked away. So, in a way, that is wrong. It's too low. Nappa doesn't buy it. The scouter's gotta be broken. And there's no way it's even higher than that too. The two begin their battle. Although, it's not much of a battle. In case you didn't notice, Nappa's obviously way outmatched here. Goku makes the battle pretty quick and defeats Nappa. Just like with Raditz, he actually gives them a chance to leave. He already made an example of Nappa, and if the two of them want to get off this planet, they still have a chance. He doesn't have to kill them, especially now that they know they're completely outmatched. But much to his surprise, Vegeta then walks up to Nappa, with Goku thinking he's about to help his ally. But instead he simply throws Nappa up into the air, killing him. He has no use for a weakling like that anyways. And Goku can't believe how cruel he is, to think he'd do that to one of his own allies. And if that's how he treats the people fighting alongside him, imagine how he's going to treat them too. Vegeta is in a tough spot right now. As much as he hates to admit it, it seems Kakarot is above him. And 20k isn't the extent of his power, but Vegeta does have a final trump card. Just like with Raditz, he resorts to going Great Ape right away, not even trying to fight Goku in his base. This will definitely ensure that he achieves victory here. He watches Goku power up too, and as he starts transforming, he looks on his scouter, seeing a power of 50,000. This is perfect. Even with Goku's high power level, it won't matter. As a Great Ape, he's at 180,000. This battle was over before it even started. If only Nappa was smart enough to transform into a Great Ape, he might have stood a chance. But that oaf was never as good of a warrior as Vegeta is. And at first, Goku actually is a bit concerned. Honestly, he was thinking that he would have a fight with no effort, which isn't really his style. He wanted to actually have some sort of effort in it. But he tells everyone else to stand back. This is a problem, but not too big of an issue. He can handle it still. For one, he knows that if he cuts off Vegeta's tail, he'll de-transform, so that's good to know. But on top of that, Goku actually does have a way to fight him, using Kaioken. He activates it for the first time against Vegeta, and Vegeta's pretty surprised. Why is he glowing red? And what's happened to his power? Of course he can't sense Goku's ki, but he can clearly see an increase in speed. And he can feel the attacks that Goku's landing. Goku's using Kaioken times 4, and it's actually pretty easy for him, at least compared to the original story. There, if he used Kaioken times 4, it would completely wreck his body. But here he could use times 2 and times 3 pretty casually, and times 4 with a little bit of stress, but still it's usable. But this isn't his limit. At certain points he even buffs Kaioken. He mainly uses times 3 and times 4, but in very short bursts when he attacks, he goes up to times 10, which Vegeta can't handle at all. He makes pretty quick work of Vegeta, but just to be safe, he goes for Vegeta's tail to make sure he detransforms. And while he did witness Vegeta's cruelty, he does give one last chance. Unlike Vegeta, he's not going to be so cruel and just kill this guy right on the spot. Just as he did with Raditz and Nappa, Goku gives him an opportunity to get out of here. He does see the great strength that Vegeta has locked away too. It would be fun to fight him again in the future, and Vegeta contemplates this for a second. They saw what happened with Raditz. He tried to destroy Earth in one last attempt, and that ended up killing him. He knows for a fact that Kakarot will kill him if he needs to. So Vegeta kinda has to swallow his pride here, and he has a really good idea too. He decides to leave, reluctantly retreating, leaving off in a space pod. But that's because he has a plan. He doesn't need to bring Kakarot to Frieza. What about the other way around? Kakarot's strength definitely might be enough to fight him. Maybe not at this exact moment, but he knows that in due time, Kakarot will be able to defeat Frieza. Clearly he's not going to join Vegeta, but instead, he could lead Frieza to Earth somehow in a few years. And it's a win-win for Vegeta. At worst, Kakarot dies, and that's no skin off Vegeta's back. He's not going to care about that. In the best case scenario, Kakarot's able to kill Frieza. Either way, Vegeta's happy. Of course, he would love to be the one to kill Frieza personally, but he knows that won't happen. And when he retreats, he doesn't have any plans of going to Namek because no one knows about Namek. Nobody actually heard of the Dragon Balls, and not even Frieza knows about them. They were never brought up in discussion, and no one ever died and needed to be revived. Vegeta and Nappa actually did go to Earth because they saw how strong Kakarot was, not because they wanted the Dragon Balls for themselves. So, he doesn't go to Namek either, and Namek remains safe for now. And following the encounter with Vegeta, Goku actually brings some of his friends to King Kai. Some aren't incredibly motivated to go, so they'll only be there for a bit, but others, they're going to stay there as long as they can. Piccolo, Krillin, and Ten are definitely the most motivated to go here. But Chi-Chi, Gohan, and Yamcha will also go too. And as for Chi-Chi and Gohan, they have their own training on the lookout anyway, so they're still fine. But they can use some time training in higher gravity, and also learning King Kai's techniques. But this kind of annoys King Kai a bit. He tells Goku this isn't a hotel, and Goku says he knows that. He just wants to make sure Earth has a bunch of strong warriors. He's Guardian after all, so he's the one who has to make sure they're in the right spot. He's just being proactive if anything. And King Kai knows he really just wants all his friends to be powerful, so Goku will have strong people to fight. But you know, this gives King Kai a good idea. Especially because he needs to get people off his planet, he actually thinks Goku needs to go somewhere else now. Now, a small part of this is because he has too many people on his planet, but it's mainly because he thinks Goku surpassed all of his training. King Kai's taught Goku everything that he can teach him, which is insane because King Kai is so knowledgeable about all this different stuff. Goku's learned all of King Kai's techniques, and training in the 10 times gravity is having diminishing returns now. That's why in his training for the Saiyan saga he didn't grow a huge amount. But perhaps he would like to meet other Kaio, and go to Otherworld and meet different warriors there. Kami will be impressed with that, right? This is going to help Goku in multiple ways. He can learn new techniques, grow stronger in ways he didn't imagine, and just as important, he's going to get more knowledge about the universe around him and all the gods around him too. And actually, Goku kind of loves this idea, so he's going to go off into Otherworld and learn a bunch of different things now. And with this we can enter a nice time skip. Let's say about a year passes. After this time, all those different people who have trained with King Kai have returned to Earth. They've grown a lot stronger, and each warrior has access to his different techniques. Of course, the 3 who stay there the entire time, Ten, Piccolo, and Krillin, they're going to have a better grasp on different things like Kaioken, and they'll probably be stronger. But the other 3 have different abilities as well, especially Chi-Chi and Gohan who continue their training on the lookout. And this is strange for Gohan because this is the first time in a scenario I think where I had Chi-Chi actually train him. It's like a joint effort between her, Kami, and Popo, but King Kai and Goku have obviously helped too. Although recently, Goku has been in Otherworld, so he hasn't really been with everybody else. That's because he's been training this entire time with different techniques and skills. Not only has he grown far more powerful, but he has so much more knowledge about different weird techniques, and he's not even done training yet. He wants to go back just to learn all the different things that the other warriors can teach him. And he tells Kami about all of this. Kami's pretty impressed by this. He could tell that Goku's definitely going to be an effective guardian. Like, he already thought that in the first place, but seeing this, it's really surpassing his expectations. But while he is strong and knowledgeable about different martial arts techniques and styles, and a bunch of different other aspects of fighting, he could tell that Goku still has a long way to go. There's more to being a guardian than just being powerful, and knowing a lot about the people around them. Kami himself still has to teach Goku some things. Also, one issue that came up in his mind that he didn't even think of before. When he's gone, Goku's not going to be able to make Dragon Balls. Now, it's fine if Earth doesn't have its own set of Dragon Balls, but he knows they'll probably want to have one, and Goku's going to have a bunch of questions about that too. So it's better for him to bring this up right away than when he's gone, because by that time, they won't have any answers. Now, as far as they know, making Dragon Balls is something that only Kami is able to do. Of course, they know Kami and Piccolo are Namekians now, but they don't know for sure if other Namekians are capable of doing this. And it doesn't even matter because Goku's going to be the one who's guardian. So regardless of if other Namekians can do it, that's not the point. They need to make sure the Saiyan can do it. They have no clue where to really begin, and they might need Kinkai's help on this. Honestly, Goku's not too concerned. Because from what Kami's saying, he's just gonna have to practice with magic. But Kami says it's a lot more complicated than just that. It's a whole different subset of power, which excites Goku to hear. But still, is it really gonna take that long just to learn how to do that? There has to be an easier way, right? Wait, there's a really simple solution. Kami suggests that they just ask Shenron to grant Goku that ability. Now, Goku's not too sure about this. He doesn't want to just have his power handed to him because it doesn't feel earned. But this is a little bit different. Being able to create Dragon Balls isn't just something that's going to benefit him. It's for the planet. So, while it might not be a fulfilling way to do this, it's definitely the easiest and most logical way to do so. Plus, it's very fitting, having one Guardian use Shenron to transfer the powers of Shenron over to Goku. Or rather, the ability to make Shenron. They're not even sure if this is going to work, but there's only one way to find out. And besides that, even if this does work, Goku's still going to learn how to use magic. Now that he's been told about it, he definitely wants to learn more. They're able to get the Dragon Balls together, and Shenron is summoned. A simple wish is made. Grant Goku the ability to make and control Dragon Balls. Now, it's a strange wish for Shenron because it's basically affecting him and his creator, but since Kami is willing to do it, Shenron sees that he is able to perform the wish. And nothing changes. Goku doesn't even feel different. Shenron soon disappears, and the Dragon Balls launch into the sky. But strangely enough, they fall back down instead of just spreading out across the earth. They turn into stone, and once they hit the ground, they completely crumble into dust, with nothing left behind. Now this freaks Goku and Kami out at first because they have no clue what's going on. Did they just destroy the Dragon Balls in accident? Apparently Shenron's wish worked, but Goku doesn't know how to do this. But Kami could try to at least guide him. And with some help from Popo, they actually get the statue of Shenron too. It takes a bit for him to figure out how to do this, but after a few days, Goku's finally broke some ground. And right there in front of everyone on the lookout, he creates his first set of Dragon Balls. They launch up into the air and then spread around the earth, and they're actually active right away, since they technically made a brand new Shenron. Of course they're not going to use them right now, but this is incredible. They have another set of Dragon Balls, and once Kami's gone, Goku's going to be able to do that as well. But Goku really wants to see what else he could do with magic. He still does have a lot to learn. He's probably going to have to go back to Otherworld, mainly training with some of the other Kaio too, possibly even gods beyond that. He wonders how far up the chain truly goes, and the easiest way to find it out is actually to test it. And as Goku goes to Otherworld, there is another thing that he's wondering about. During his battle with Vegeta, he mentioned something that only Goku was able to hear. He wasn't even saying it to Goku, it seemed like he was just talking to himself. But Vegeta was wondering if Kakarot had become the Super Saiyan of Legend. Goku has no clue of what this is. The Super Saiyan of Legend. It sounds powerful. And it really does make him wonder. Is this another type of power that he can unlock? Is it a state of being? Is it just a rumor? He's not sure, but it has stuck with him this entire time. And he has been trying to pursue leads about it, but he doesn't know. And no one else seems to either. It just seems like some sort of legend. And Goku wonders where this will take him. Far away in space during this entire time, Vegeta's also been training himself. Frieza does wonder what happened with the other two Saiyans, but honestly, he doesn't really care. 2 of the Saiyans are dead, that's great. And it seems like it has nothing to do with him anyways. They probably just failed the mission and that leaves Vegeta as the only survivor. Of course, ever since then, Vegeta has been training rigorously, trying to surpass Kakarot in any way possible. He would love to just do that, but he knows it's going to take a lot of training. In worst case, if he can't train himself to become the strongest, he'll just start a battle between Frieza and Kakarot. It should be pretty easy to pull off after all. He just has to wait for the perfect opportunity, and he has to plant the seed in Frieza's mind somehow. But he does have to figure out a reason for Frieza to go there. And it's not like he could just say what happened there, because that'll throw Vegeta under the bus. Why was he hiding another Saiyan from Frieza? This is going to take some time to think about, but thankfully Vegeta has more than enough time. And while he's waiting, he could just train his mind and body. Even if Kakarot truly is the Super Saiyan, that's not going to matter soon enough, because Vegeta will become one too. And this is where we'll leave off for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.